It started today here in Tel Aviv, in Israel. We heard the air raid sirens going off at around 8:20. And that wasn't to signify that there was incoming missiles, but to tell the people of Israel and the people in this region that an attack was underway. We later learned from Israeli Defense Forces that this is a joint attack between the United States and Israeli forces, what they called a preemptive strike. The Israeli forces, again, telling us that they were targeting not just regime targets, places like government buildings and offices, etc., including parts of the regime, but also Iran's ballistic missiles arsenals, and trying to get them before they launch. Now, after that, about 30 minutes later, we started hearing the sirens. That meant that a launch was on the way, a counterattack was on the way. Then much closer, sirens telling people in the region to get into a shelter. Now, since then, we've had maybe 15, 20 of those air raid sirens, and we've heard a number of explosions, particularly in the last 45 minutes or so. And we've actually seen, Israel's much vaunted Iron Dome system intercepting those incoming missiles from Iran. But this isn't just about Israel. This is about Iran's capability to reach Israeli targets and U.S. targets throughout the region. And this is something that we have not seen before. They've been attacking the Fifth Fleet in Bahrain. They've been attacking, or trying to attack anyway, the base in northern Iraq, which has come under a missile attack. They've been trying to attack Al-Udeid, which is the largest U.S. military base in this region. The Qataris have intercepted that. American forces have intercepted that. All the while, throughout the day, there have been airstrikes and missile strikes inside Iran itself. We learned first this morning about an attack in Tehran, as I reported, and 4 other cities. So what we've been witnessing over the past 5 or 6 hours is attack and counterattack as the Iranians are spreading this not just against Israel and even against American forces in this region, but against anybody seen to be allied to there. The UAE, Kuwait is on alert. As I said, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, we're seeing the missiles coming in and missiles being intercepted. There's another one. And when you hear that, because it's local, that doesn't mean that this is a countrywide target. That means that this is a regional target. So in a moment, we may need to get back in, and I'm waiting for the check from my security. But this is when these missiles aren't just hitting places like northern Israel, which they have struck or at least attempted to strike, but this is where they're closer to Tel Aviv. And this is important because in the last war, the 12-day war between Israel and Iran, the Iranian missiles were able to get through the Iron Dome and hit targets in residential neighborhoods not far from us, because the ability of Iran's ballistic missiles, of which there may be between 1,800 and 2,000, that the Israelis say have been rebuilding and reconstituting for the past 7 or 8 months, they have been able to launch these missiles. And as we have witnessed for ourselves, you've probably seen the videos, these aren't attacking just here in Israel, but throughout the Middle East and targeting U.S. forces in the region. 30 to 40,000 U.S. forces here, 2 aircraft carriers. They're going after U.S. naval assets, anything that they can to target this. And we have to point out that, especially when it comes to fixed positions like Al-Udeid, you can't move a runway. You can't move U.S. bases that are already in place. And the Iranians have been preparing for this. They know where the U.S. targets are. They know exactly how to target them. They know the missiles that can reach those areas. And that's what we've been hearing. And as I said, that's probably the 18th or 20th air raid siren that we've heard over the course of this morning and this afternoon.